Off the Cuff is supported by Patreon. Join today and become an honorary producer and get in-show credit on every episode. Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Off the Cuff. Hey quick, listen to this. You know what that is? No, it's not my average audience listening to my stand-up. Listen again. Yeah. I recorded that last week when I went camping. It's a cacophony of crickets chirping in the middle of the night in the woods. So relaxing, so peaceful. Made me really connect to nature. So, why did I go camping? Well, very easy. I'm an amateur chef, right? I had a craving for s'mores. Oh yeah, who doesn't love s'mores? Check them out. Oh, look at that. Graham crackers, chocolate, marshmallow, hot, melty, delicious. Oh, they're fantastic, but they're loaded in calories, they're loaded in carbs, they're loaded in sugar. But you know what? Not anymore. So today on the show, I'm going to show you how to make sugar-free s'mores. Oh yeah. Now I already have a recipe for sugar-free graham crackers. I did that a couple years ago, and boy are those good. And right here on this show, I'm going to show you how to make sugar-free marshmallows right in your own kitchen. You're not going to believe how easy or how delicious they really are. And as far as the chocolate goes, that's easy. I'm just going to melt down some sugar-free chocolate chips and form them into bars. Throw it all in the air fryer, and we have homemade s'mores, sugar-free. Now you might be thinking, why do I have to go camping to come up with all of that? Well, I wanted to get into the mood for it. And actually, the camping trip was interesting because it didn't go how I expected. I'll share it with you. Here, watch. Oh boy, I can't believe it. I rented the tent, the sleeping bag, all this camping gear. I drive 107 miles to Big Bear, and what do? I leave all the ingredients to make my sugar-free s'mores at home. I'm up here all alone. I'm totally roughing it. Yeah, I mean, this is like the 1800s. Oh, this is gonna be... Oh, I know what you're thinking, but no. I'm roughing it. My Netflix account has commercials. Oh, yeah. Ah! Cannon's on! Hey! Ah, Mommy!
Mommy?
I'm sorry, I thought you were a bear.
A bear? Well, in some circles, I guess.
Oh, wait. Is this your land? I'm sorry, I took Waze to get here. I should have took Google Maps.
I don't believe anyone should own land. All of this, belongs to all of us. You and me.
Belongs to me? Oh, mowing the lawn would be a bitch.
You're funny, partner. Where are you from?
Van Nuys, but originally New York.
A city slicker.
Oh, Van Nuys is like suburban Long Island, except it has palm trees, earthquakes, and Cybertrucks. I'm Craig.
Woodsy.
Woodsy? I thought you were going to be like, the old prospector.
You've just seen Toy Story too many times.
Oh.
I'm just Woodsy.
Yeah. So where are you from?
Well, here, there, everywhere.
Oh, okay. Where do you live now?
Well, here.
In the woods?
Yep. I consider these woods home.
That's why they call you Woodsy.
No, actually, I got that nickname in high school.
Oh.
Yeah, I was in sex ed. See, I got excited and I took the final halfway through the course. They called it premature examination.
Hold. Okay, go ahead.
So what are you doing out here all alone?
Well, I had to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city. Away from the lights and the noise, and just come up here solo.
So nobody wanted to come with you, huh?
You can say that again.
Well, if you really want to be alone, I guess I could mosey on off.
Oh, no. I'm enjoying the company, Woodsy.
Well, you're not too bad yourself. Gosh. So what were you doing before I showed up?
Oh, I was going to make s'mores.
S'mores.
Oh, you don't know s'mores? That's when you take 2 graham crackers and then chocolate and marshmallow and you melt it. It gets all sticky and ooey and gooey and delicious.
That sounds amazing.
They are.
Now I'm a diabetic. I can't eat sweets like that.
Oh, here's the thing. My recipe was sugar-free, but they're still ooey and gooey and sticky and delicious.
Well, don't let me stop you, son. Get to making them.
Therein lies the rub. I left the ingredients for them at home.
Can I see that?
Sure. Wait, you have a phone?
Yeah, I gotta eat.
Eat?
Delivery.
Oh.
There. They're on their way. They'll be here in about 20 minutes.
Oh, 20 minutes, great. What do you want to do until then?
How about some music?
Oh, you have a harmonica. Great, go ahead. Keep going, I left something in my tent.
Here is your order.
Here are the ingredients.
All right, now it's time to make our s'mores. First up, the ingredients for our sugar-free graham crackers. 2 cups of almond flour. 1/3 cup of Splenda brown sugar or an alternative. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. A pinch of salt, that comes out to 1/16 of a teaspoon. 1 large egg. 2 tablespoons of butter, melted. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum. Now for the sugar-free marshmallows. 1/2 cup of cold water. 3 tablespoons of gelatin powder. 2/3 cup of water. 2 1/2 cups of sweetener. I'm using monk fruit allulose. You can use allulose, but do not use erythritol or the recipe won't be successful. 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And finally, for the sugar-free chocolate bars, 4 to 8 ounces of sugar-free chocolate chips and 1 to 2 tablespoons of coconut oil or butter. Alrighty then, let's get started. Time to take out the stand mixer. Yep. First up, we're going to make the marshmallows. And you know what? They're a lot easier to make than you think. Okay, so this is all we really need to make our marshmallows. So the first thing we do is 1/2 cup of cold water into the stand mixer and 3 tablespoons of the gelatin. And we just want to mix it together here. Mix it thoroughly. I should really have not had the attachment in here yet. Simply put, now we let it wait for 10 minutes as it thickens up and stuff, or as it blooms as they call it. Now, let's make the hot stuff. And by hot stuff, I mean we're going to take this allulose, this monk fruit allulose, and we're going to dissolve it into some boiling water, then add it to that. It's really that easy. All right, so I have the pan on high right now, and we're putting in our 2/3 cup of water. Now this is 1.5 cups of monk fruit allulose. You can vary this. If you want it really sweet, you can do 2.5 cups. If you want it less, you can do 2/3. I'm doing 1.5 cups. And we do that. And we just let it absorb. We don't do anything else, just let it go. We're gonna wait till this boils. You want this to come to 212 degrees, which is boiling. And if you don't have a thermometer, just let it boil for a good 2 minutes. That's basically it. I'm checking it right now. It's over the 200 degrees mark, so I'm gonna let it go just a little bit longer. I wanna make sure it gets really mixed in. It's okay to wait the 2 minutes anyway, just so it gets well absorbed. The sugar solution is done, so turn your mixer on low. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour in the hot fluid, but we wanna be careful not to hit the cold sides of your mixer. So we bring it in like this and pour it in the middle. And once it's in, all the way up to high. Get ready for some noise. Okay, I had to silence that. It was way too loud. Now, what I'm saying here is we're going to run this for about 12 to 15 minutes. Now it's the 8-minute mark, and I'm adding the salt. Seriously, folks, I've been to drag races where it wasn't as loud as this machine. It's the 12-minute mark, and I'm adding the vanilla. All right, now we have to move fast here. Man, that was loud. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so we let this drip off a little bit. Now we take our marshmallow mixture and we just pour it right into this 9x9 pan that's already been prepared with parchment paper. Now at this point when you're done, if you want to taste the spatula, you can. I have, not for this batch, but I have in the past. And it's very, very, very tempting. There's our marshmallow mixture. Now we let it set. We let it set for 4 to 6 hours outside, not in the refrigerator, outside uncovered for 4 to 6 hours, or preferably, or preferably 24 hours. I'm gonna let it sit for 24 hours. Okay, now let's make the graham crackers. Now, just so you know, I halved this recipe from the one you saw in ingredients. We take our almond flour, Splenda brown sugar. Like you said, you can do this with brown sugar and molasses. I'm just doing it with the brown sugar. This is our baking soda and our cinnamon. And once we have all the dry stuff in there, we're just gonna mix it all up until it's well combined together. Now we take the liquid, 1 egg in this case. Oh, I did forget the salt. That's okay, put it in now. Salt, that's the pinch of salt. This is the vanilla. And in my microwave, I had the 1 tablespoon of butter. Remember, this is half the recipe. And now we mix it together and make a dough. Yes, I always use my hands because that's, as I've said before, I am caveman. Me use hands. It's sticky, so be careful. It's a little bit loose right now, but you just got to keep on working it until the dough and the almond flour has a chance to absorb all the liquid. Oh, one thing I forgot to tell you. I didn't show putting the xanthan gum in here. That's really important because it kind of holds it together. So don't forget the xanthan gum. Now we're going to roll this out. And I'm going to do this the same way I did it a couple years ago. Roll it out. Now I'm going to try to make it into as squarish as possible. But look, I know my track record with this. It's not great. But I'll do the best I can. Let's see what we have. All right. Okay. And what we're doing is we're just, none of this is wasteful. We can make more cookies, more grams out of what I'm pulling aside here. Let's roll that up. Be gentle, Craig. There. Now we can make our cookies. Let's see, how can I make it? That'll be 1, 2, and cut them down the middle. Right down the middle. Some more, there you go. Now take a fork, and you want to put holes in them like this. That way they don't bubble up when they cook. Now we take the whole kit and caboodle, and we do it like that. And now we're going to put it into the oven. This is going to a preheated oven at 300 degrees for about 22 minutes. I'm going to keep an eye on it because they're thin. And then we'll have graham crackers after you let them cool. All right, it hasn't been 22 minutes, but I see the sides are getting kind of brownish. I think that's going to be enough. Okay. Perfect. They look good. Now we have to let them cool. While they're cooling, yeah, time for food facts. S'mores are a sweet, delicious, luscious confectionery treat that we've been enjoying around the barbecue and campfire for decades. But before we get specific, let's look at its components individually. The first and most modern of those components are the graham cracker. Invented in the 1820s by Reverend Sylvester Graham, they were actually a lot different than the graham crackers we know and love today. You see, Reverend Graham felt that bland, whole grain foods helped to reduce sinful urges. Well, a few years after the good Reverend passed away, the National Biscuit Company, aka Nabisco, started to mass produce the product in 1898. Then in 1925, they introduced the Honey Maid brand, and well, a legend was born. Or should I say reborn? Now, chocolate has been with us since the 17th century, but modern chocolate, aka milk chocolate, was invented in 1876 by Swiss chocolatier Daniel Peter. Yeah, and by the dawn of the 20th century, chocolate was a very, very popular worldwide treat. Marshmallows date back to ancient Egypt around 2000 BC. In their earliest form, they were made from the sap of the marshmallow plant, which was usually found in marshy areas. The Egyptians took the sap and combined it with honey and nuts to make a very sweet and delicious confection. However, it was reserved for gods and royalty. Now, as far as the gods go, it was more likely priests who kept it, and they used it as offerings. The marshmallow plant's extracts were used by the ancient Greeks and the Romans medicinally. They were used to treat coughs, sore throats, and to heal wounds. In the 1800s, French chefs used to whip the sap, egg whites, and sugar to create this soft, billowy meringue, which very much resembled the modern marshmallows we know today. Now, the French called that pâté de gooey. Extracting the root sap was actually very laborious and expensive, so the recipe adapted. Gelatin and corn syrup replaced the marshmallow root sap, and just like overnight, the treat became more affordable and easier to make. So, marshmallows for all! Up until this time, making marshmallows involved whipping them by hand, which was a long, time-consuming process. It also limited the treat's availability and kept it a little bit too expensive for the average working family. Then enter the starch mogul. Sounds like a cartoon villain, but actually it was far from a villain. It was a machine that was invented in the late 19th century, which automated the process of candy making. It also made marshmallows. Ha ha! Foiled again. In the early 1900s, mass production made marshmallows widely available in the United States. How available? They were sold as penny candy in tins like that one. In 1948, Alex Dumas revolutionized the mass production of marshmallows with his extrusion process. Now, this is where you take all the marshmallow mixture, you pour it in one side, then it forms it into a long rope, and then cuts them into individual marshmallows. Easy peasy. Well, excuse me. By the 1950s, mass production made the treat a staple in most U.S. homes. They were very popular for roasting on camping trips, barbecues, and use in other recipes. Marshmallow fluff was invented by Archibald Query in Massachusetts in 1917. Oh, as a kid, yeah, now we're talking. This was my jam, so to speak. Fluff was a very popular marshmallow spread, and mixing it with peanut butter, well, it was genius. Here, look.
Oh, you need fluff, fluff, fluff to make a fluffer nutter. Marshmallow fluff and lots of peanut butter. First you spread, spread, spread your bread with peanut butter. Add marshmallow fluff and have a fluffer nutter. When you enjoy, joy, joy, your fluff and peanut butter, you're glad you have enough for another fluffer nutter.
In 1927, the Girl Scout Handbook, Tramping and Trailing with the Girl Scouts, yeah, I'm not going to touch that, okay, introduced a recipe for a treat that featured marshmallow, chocolate, and a sandwich between two cookies. And they called it Some More. Now, this recipe was attributed to Scout leader Loretta Scott Crew. Now, it instructed her to take 2 marshmallows and roast them over a fire, then place them with a piece of chocolate on 2 cookies and watch it melt and get gooey. Yeah, so much you want some more. Get it? Some more. Some more, or s'mores, became a popular treat for campers and outdoor gatherings, especially after the camping craze of the 1950s hit. And now it's time for s'mores trivia. National S'mores Day is August 10th. Now, the abbreviation s'mores actually first appeared in the Girl Scout Handbook in 1938, and well, it stuck. A recipe for s'mores actually appeared in the Betty Crocker Cookbook in 1957. The world's largest s'more was created by chef Stephen Durfee at Dandelion Chocolate in San Francisco on April 28, 2024. It weighed 396 pounds and it was 7 feet by 7 feet. That's 49 square feet. And that's Food Facts. Okay, now this is 1 8-ounce bag of sugar-free Hershey's chips, chocolate chips, I should say. And here's coconut oil, 2 tablespoons. So there's 1, and there's 2. Now we do this in 30-second increments until it's beautifully melted. So here's my mold to make chocolate bars. I got it online. Now we're going to pour our chocolate into each one to make a bar. I'm going to smooth that out on top a little bit so it looks good. Okay. The chocolate in the molds in the freezer for about 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah. Okay, now our chocolate is ready to go. Woo-hoo-hoo. So are our graham crackers, but our marshmallow, it takes 24 hours to set. Luckily, I did a batch last night, so we're ready to go to assemble our s'mores. I'm putting the chocolate, 2 pieces of chocolate, see they're melting already, into the air fryer, 400 for 2 minutes. That's all we're going to do, 2 minutes. And go. Now we put in the marshmallows. These are big marshmallows and they're sticking right to the chocolate. These are going to be really ooey and gooey. Maybe too ooey and gooey. Down. Push it down. And push these down. Now for another minute or so. Gently. Okay, it's s'mores time. Yeah, I did it. I made homemade s'mores. Now, here's the thing. I looked all over the internet. I couldn't find a recipe for sugar-free s'mores. I found recipes for the marshmallows. Of course, I already had a recipe for the graham crackers. And of course, we all know about melting sugar-free chocolate. So this is kind of my own concoction. I kind of put this together and I'm very proud of it. Like I said, I have already made the graham crackers in the past. They always come out good. They taste just like the graham crackers you buy in the store. The marshmallows, I couldn't believe how easy it was. Yes, the machine was very loud and I think I have permanent hearing loss from it, but they came out great. As a matter of fact, as you know, I made 2 batches. I have another batch in the kitchen which I can enjoy tomorrow or whenever. And of course the chocolate, well, those molds making into a bar, that just really sold it. That was fantastic. And now I get to taste it. And as you see, I went back to the woods. I went back here so I can enjoy the s'mores in, well, their natural environment, right? By the campfire. Yeah, by the tent and the campfire. Yeah, so I get to enjoy it. Oh, so it's all ooey and gooey and messy. And I have become comfortable with the fact that there's no way that we can't make these not messy. They're going to always be messy. And also, in the pictures, they're all puffed up, but they did squish down a little bit, but the flavor is still there, I bet. So let's go. Graham crackers are great, crunches. The marshmallow is terrific. Chocolate, this is so good. It tastes a little minty too. I didn't put any mint in it, but it tastes a little. Oh, it's getting messy. Oh, chocolate. The marshmallow is such a great marriage. Oh. The fact is it's sugar-free, it's lower in calorie, and the carbs are negligible, totally. What a treat. And doing it in the air fryer, you can do it at home. You don't have to come to the woods to do it. This is fantastic. I've been wanting to make these for the longest time. And when I was confident enough to do the marshmallows, voila, here we are. Yeah. Try these. I know you're gonna love them. It's another recipe I wholeheartedly recommend. And that's it for this time around. I'll be here again in another 2 weeks with another show and another recipe. Until then, this is Craig Mitchell saying, be well, eat good. I'm eating s'mores. Woodsy? Woodsy, is that you? Mommy!
Chocolate melting in a bunch is more fun. Yeah, it's more fun. Gooey, sticky, messy, it's more fun. Everyone till the very last crumb. Open flame, a smoky kiss. Pure sugar bliss, can't ever miss. Sticky fingers, happy face, leaving not a single trace. More